Old business.
Okay, so we've got, as part of this whole grant acceptance process, we've got two things to sign. One is Jonah's excellent draft confirmation that the town can cover the $670,354 gap between the $3,670,354,000 grant request and the $3 million grant. So, and this will either do it or not, but I'm going to move that we sign it.
I second.
And Kim may have to come in and do something else.
So was that, Alyssa had said she wanted a letter either from the select board or me that just said we have the funds to cover that shortfall. And at one point they were going to say something specific about using the special funds, but I didn't know if you wanted to be that detailed.
So it says changing it to special funds instead of has sufficient funds.
No,
That's
I think
all I wrote, Kim, was has sufficient funds. I just did it quickly. I
would give it to her that way.
Before we go signing letters, I think it ought to be decided where the money's coming from. I don't want to be signing a letter and then held over a barrel saying, well, you signed the letter, now we got to rob the special funds. I don't want to put myself in that position.
Well, and I didn't know.
This doesn't.
Yeah, it says we've got the funds to cover.
No, it says we've got the financial capacity. And that means we can borrow the money. To me.
I didn't think we should be terribly specific because I didn't know if you were going to pursue a bond or a 10-year loan or how you had hoped to do this. And I know that might be a decision down the road, but if you tell them you're going to pull from your special funds, you can't go back and then say, well, we might change our mind, or we're going to go for a bond to repay ourselves. That was my concern. So
there's the possibility of other funding options.
Yeah. I think there's no downside. This offers us maximum flexibility. I'm going to move that we sign it, but that we, and if this isn't enough, then Alyssa will tell us how much more specificity we need in it. And I make that motion understanding that Denny definitely will not second it. Hopefully Katie will.
I second.
And but if Denny doesn't vote for it, then we're not going to sign it. So
We would have to
I'm going to
wait.
call the motion.
I second.
Yeah. So all in favor? Aye.
I want to offer amendment.
Oh, okay.
He's going to offer an amendment to the motion.
If money does not come out of special funds.
then you'll need to be pursuing other options.
Well, we've got 3 bridges that need work on, and I know they're looking hard at the bridge special fund. But we've got a bridge up there on Greendale Road that was put in there in the 30s that needs work.
When does this have to be signed?
By the 16th of this month.
Okay,
Alyssa
so,
would like it tomorrow.
okay. What if we have to wait to sign it? And
I don't know,
because we don't have enough people to pass the motion now,
The next meeting's not till the
24th.
24th, and it has to be done by the 16th.
It's got to be done by the 16th.
Okay.
So, you can, I think I've said what I can. You can specify the special funds, but I just didn't think you'd want to because you may decide that it might be in our best interest to pursue a bond or a 10-year more loan. So we have the financial wherewithal to cover the 670,000. And you can say it that way and see how Alyssa takes it.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that we're gonna raid. There's no requirement that we
No,
go after
I don't
this-
like what was
Yeah.
just going on here, because Katie was looking, well, we can wait till Brian's here and then we can push it through and have 3 signatures. And I don't like that backdoor work. We've got some work to do up there, and that's the money they're looking at raiding. And where are we gonna get the money to fix the bridge?
Well, I have a question. The town signed off on us, on us being able to have the 673,554 to meet the goal of the grant. It wasn't specified whether it was gonna be coming out of special funds. I thought it was gonna be coming out of taxes. Tax money. I'm just,
Well,
there was no
hey,
specific thing,
hey,
so I'm just curious.
It's all tax money.
Right.
Right,
But let me finish here. They haven't proposed a schedule of how to pay back the special funds with interest. If you do a bond for 15 years, it is all spelled out how much payment is going to be every year.
But then we would have to take out a bond against the town to refund the special, to refund.
No,
No.
if you take a bond out to raise the $670 some odd $1,000. Because see, Katie, you're not thinking far down the road.
I'm thinking about the bridges that have to be done and.
Well, not only that, but this whole project they've proposed, they already know they can't do it for the amount of money they've asked. They're going to be coming back and asking for more money. Then if they raid the special funds, where are they going to get the money from?
Denny?
With all due respect, you're saying that everybody knows that we're gonna spend more than the 3.7 million. We don't know that. Or I don't know that. So if you say everybody but Jim Linville knows this, then I won't argue with you. But I don't think anybody knows that now. All due respect, just so clear the air. And if we don't sign this, what you're saying is, or if we add your thing, then you're requiring the town to borrow the money and not giving us the freedom to use our reserve funds.
Well, it sets a bad precedent too, because in reserve funds are put there for special projects. And if the special project comes up and you've raided the fund, where do you get the money?
Well, can we make an amendment in it saying we can sign this tonight per a future discussion of repayment with more information on the bonds down the road?
I think that letter basically
It
says
says that, I agree, but
that's
because
the,
it's saying that we have sufficient funds.
yeah.
By the way, I do like just has sufficient funds personally, just because it wasn't specific on where we were taking the money out of.
Yeah,
And so
that's,
it's,
but that's what the town voted
they haven't voted on
for
it.
us to cover that overage. They made they weren't specific about where we were gonna raise the money. They're leaving that to us. But I think, to me, the vote that happened on February 14th behooves us to sign this, and we can decide where we're gonna get those funds later. We don't have to make that decision now, but we do have to confirm that we are going to come up with $670,354, because that's what the voters asked us to do.
That's all well and fine, but I just want to know where it's coming from. I got no problem. The town did vote for us to do it.
Yeah.
But I want to know where the money's coming from.
Well,
Kim,
I think it's too soon to make that determination. I think we need to we need to have the most amount of freedom we can, flexibility we can, when the time comes to figure out where we're gonna get that money from.
And won't you know more information in the coming months?
Absolutely.
By the late summer, you might have that environmental study done. Am I correct in remembering something? And you might have more pricing detail and you might have more design detail. And I'm just in favor of you all saying, not that it's coming, I'm not in favor of saying it's coming from special funds, just that we have the financial wherewithal to fund the shortfall, and you all will make the best decision on where it's coming.
also,
But
I just,
You don't
sorry,
know
I'm just, no,
today.
I'm curious about like the bridge fund. So like if we're talking about the special funds, but we're talking about the bridges that are down the line that need to be fixed. We're not taking this money from the bridge fund. We have money in the bridge funds already to start repairing, like even just the first bridge that has to be done like next
That's the
year.
fund with the most money in it, Katie. That's one they're looking at.
Okay.
And there's roughly $1.6 million in the special funds. And so you pull out the 700 plus, and now you still have a residual, but you don't really want to borrow against that and have to repay it quickly, because that's a lot of money to try to pay back quickly. And the other remaining funds are things that are often in need. So you have fire equipment and you have trucks and paving. And so those are funds that have a continual demand every few years. They just kind of rotate through. So I'm not trying to push one over the other, but I don't see how we're going to not do this in any other way besides a bond or a 10-year loan. And I think the 10-year loan is too aggressive.
When you talked to and that was through the bank, but the Vermont Bond Bank, that was over a period of 15 years, correct?
Well, the Vermont Bond Bank they offer bonds. What they do is they consolidate towns' needs. They lend towns money, and they finance that money by selling tax-exempt bonds.
Right.
So, and those tax-exempt bonds can be 15-year bonds or 25-year bonds. They're usually a couple of, standard bond issues, and the towns decide what, at any given time, depending on the interest rate structure and the tax laws at the time, the Vermont Bond Bank said, if you want to borrow 15-year money, this is what your interest rate will be.
Right.
If you want to borrow 30-year money or 25-year money, this is what your interest rate.
Right.
And the town just decides, what they're going to apply for, and it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, well, he said to me, you could borrow up to the life expectancy of that project, which he didn't, of course, recommend. A bridge might be 50 or more years, but that I thought would be kind of ridiculous. But yeah, the term can be whatever it that you all determine as necessary.
Do we know?
What was the interest rate on the bond, Kim?
Yeah.
It was 4 point something. It was 4.2.
If we went into 20 years, would it be less? Or no, it would be more.
It'd be more.
It would be more.
But Kim, I thought he said that in the current, now who knows what's going on now, but in the current environment, I thought it was 15-year money was going to be a little over 3%.
I might be getting I keep getting confused between the loan and the bond, because one was 3 point something and one was 4 point something. So I just think
No, the longer term would have higher interest.
I mean, essentially, the town voted for this to happen, and we have to have this signed by the 16th. And I think we need to listen to the voters and not be so specific about one thing or another because you're uncomfortable signing something that says something specific because you don't want to be then accused of signing something you didn't follow through with. I understand that. However,
I got no
This is where
problem
we are.
signing it as long as I know where the money's coming from.
Vermont bond banks right now, they put it out when the bonds first are sell, but it's 3.07 for 15 years.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's the
So
kind
if
of
you
number.
did that, when we borrow from ourselves for short term, we pay back the special funds with 2%, is it, Kim?
Yeah, essentially, yes.
So you'd only be like 1.1%
Right,
on a bond thing.
right.
And that would leave you your money to work, do your bridge projects that you've got to do and stuff. And the thing is we already are paying back for the land that we bought.
Right.
Yeah, we've got I haven't seen the updated schedule, but we have an equipment schedule.
Yeah.
That I don't believe is going to have quite enough money in it if you keep rotating equipment like
Yeah,
you
the
should.
You're talking about
last
for
numbers
the
I got were
highway,
about 140, 150,000 a year for equipment.
for equipment for the
Yeah,
highway
I just ran,
fund.
the rough depreciation schedule, so.
It's easy.
But
Okay, in the spirit of progress and moving forward, I am going to move that we sign this so we can get it over to Alyssa Sabeto. It was Alyssa Sabeto and Denny. I know that Jim is, wants.
yeah, I'll second that motion. And I don't think we need to discuss it more, but let's call it and see what happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like this one goddamn bit.
I know.
I understand.
I
you don't.
understand. I'm sorry.
And we're not loving it either,
I
Denny.
really
Just so
not.
you know.
But there's 3 people here. So
What is what is?
Well, let's do the vote and then we'll decide what next.
Okay,
So all in favor?
I
Aye.
opposed, no,
Okay.
carry.
So it doesn't
Okay.
carry.
doesn't
Yes,
carry.
it does.
No, it
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
It doesn't
It
because
does because it takes 3
Yeah,
members
3.
of the select board to conduct a meeting. The other 2 aren't here, so they don't get a chance to vote. It carries, Jim. Look in your Robert's rules.
there's 3 of us and 2, so it does carry.
Well, I hope that's right. That's not my recollection, but
Well, yeah, I've got 3 people and 2 out of 3 voted yay.
I can do some research. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's
How about if I call Wayne? No,
Yeah.
Denny's right. It carried.
does it carry? Okay.
Yes, it carries. And in all fairness to moving forward, we're going to end up having to borrow the money in the most economical way you can, because raiding the special funds really isn't a very good way of handling it because
Okay.
of the other demands on those funds.
I also am going to say, I think we. Oh, sorry.
I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
So the final decision about whether you borrow from special funds or get a bond or a loan comes down to the select board, or does
Yeah.
it go back to the voters, or it's a
No.
catch-all?
It's already
No,
been
it's-
voted on.
One of those options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The town basically authorized us to figure this
One
out.
of those 3
And
options.
this is all this sausage making is us figuring it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
We get to play with not a in today's standards, not a major amount of money, but we sign work orders or pay orders up to $1 million for the school system, stuff like that. And we fight and argue about these things here, and then when we walk out the door, we still speak to one another.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't know about that. So
Okay, so.
I have a quick question. Kim, I feel like because we didn't really do our due diligence before this to have the information about getting a bond, or, it was kind of like a last minute thing. I think we need to keep that on, like, a revisit in 2 weeks. I mean, in a month, on like where the progress
Well,
is.
we
with
gotta-
that.
I don't think we'll know until we actually know how much money, if there's other funding.
Okay, so
You know,
we
like,
have-
we're not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
know
we're not
an
gonna
exact
know.
amount of anything until
Right.
we get
Let's
to that.
not put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna,
Okay.
yeah,
This Rivers grant that Shauna's been talking about, I think it would be not wise to go out and make a deal on a bond for the 670,000 till we actually needed it.
Right.
Because if you did that and then they were thinking about giving us some money, they've already got a bond. They don't need our money.
I understand that.
That make any sense to you?
It does.
oh, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely, don't have to come up with this money until we have to come up with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Great.
yeah. Okay.
No,
so-
agreed. I totally forgot about that, potential opportunity.
Yeah,
If it comes through, it's fine. If it don't, fine. But if you've already got the money sitting in the account waiting to go, they're just going to give it to somebody else that hasn't got it.
okay.
Huh.
So I'm gonna sign this, Katie, you're gonna,
Yeah, all that says is that the town has
Money.
this amount of money.
yeah, here we go.
I'll sign it because she'll
Okay.
reject it if there's only two. Melissa will reject it,
Okay,
but it's in the minutes that I voted against.
It'll go down in the minutes.
And then the second letter is just for the extension. And that is what Alyssa sent over. I just put it on letterhead.
I move that we, sign this.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Going to here, I'll.
I thought it would be here till 10.
Oh,
Don't.
Other
think-
piece of paper.
sorry. There you go.
Probably not get stapled
This is like the
together.
shortest meeting we've ever.
Well, we're not,
Oh, no, we're not done.
yeah,